The fascinating realm of jellyfish in the spotlight at SeaWorld San Diego. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us from SeaWorld is Manager of Education and Conservation, Mike Dunn. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Fred. How are you?
Terrific. Well, this sounds exciting. The Jewels of the Sea, a jellyfish experience, opening tomorrow. And we're getting a sneak preview. Mike, tell us about this.
It's unbelievable, Fred. Jewels of the Sea is one of the most immersive attractions that we've ever opened here at SeaWorld San Diego. It encompasses 3 unbelievable galleries with jellyfish. And jellyfish are incredibly complex yet simple animals, and as you walk into one of the galleries we call the Medusa Gallery, you can see all around me, it is not only filled with various species of jellies, but also LED screens that really give guests a chance to get an idea of these fascinating creatures and their lifestyle and their life cycle.
And you've been at SeaWorld for more than 3 decades, I understand. So
yeah, I've been here for about 35 years in the education department. I've been very blessed, and it's just one of my passions is to be able to kind of teach various students and guests and parents all about the ocean animals. And like we said, here at Jewels of the Sea, it's going to be one of the chances for people to learn a little bit more about these fascinating creatures that live all over the ocean planet. There's several hundred different species of jellies, including right behind me, you can see some Pacific sea nettles. And the interesting thing about jellies is the fact that they are part of a phylum of animals called cnidarians, which means they are stinging animals. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that jellies can sting. Well, the difference between jellies and other animals is that they kind of have a variety of stinging, what we call a pain bow. And this is one of their, the Pacific sea nettles right here are on kind of the more moderate side of venom. But the reason that they have the reason they have stinging cells, Fred, is to be able to not only capture prey, but also defend themselves from would-be predators. And so you can see these animals are unbelievably colorful. They are able to move through the water. There's a little bit of debate on whether or not jellies swim or are they just pulsing through the water. That's debatable. I personally think that they're pulsing through the water as they swim, but that's just me.
what do they eat?
They eat a variety of things. Most jellies basically prey on plankton that is floating throughout the ocean. However, some of the larger jellies, such as the lion's mane jelly and things like that, they can eat things such as very, very small fish, as well as what we call copepods, which are kind of like small ocean dwelling animals.
And some are bioluminescent. They glow. Tell us about that.
Some are bioluminescent, yeah. Bioluminescence is a symbiotic relationship that a lot of different ocean animals have, including jellies. And what it is that they are able to take there is algae that grows within their tissues, and in the jellies, for instance, it's within the bell of their body. And this bioluminescence is able to take the photosynthesis of the algae and be able to create bioluminescence. Some other, not really true jellies, but ctenophores, comb jellies are able to beat with little cilia as they move through the water, and that refracts off the light and is able to create an essence of bioluminescence itself. Yeah, they basically, some jellies glow. How about that?
Why are these creatures important in the ocean ecosystem?
That's a really good question, Fred. The reason that they are so important is because they are what a lot of scientists call keystone species. And that means that the population of jellies help keep other populations healthy in terms of they eat plankton. So jellies will keep populations of floating plankton, especially zooplankton, in check. And in turn, Jellies are a really, really important source of nutrients for animals such as sea turtles and other species of fish. And so they really are a keystone species. When you have healthy populations of jellies, that means that the ocean food web or the ocean food chain is also healthy.
Tell us a bit about putting this exhibit together. You have, I don't know, how many varieties do you have there?
Well, we have 9 different species here at our Jewels of the Sea. And one of the greatest things is that we also have a species of jelly that is commonly found off the coast of San Diego, which are moon jellies. And in fact, when you go through one of the galleries, like I said, we have 3 different galleries at Jewels of the Sea. We have one of the largest cylindrical jelly exhibits in the entire country. It's 14 feet tall. It's got moon jellies spread throughout the entire cylinder. So when you walk down and you see this 14-foot tall cylinder filled with moon jellies, you're just basically captivated. It's really incredible.
What do we know about how long they live?
You know what? Great question. Most jellies have a life cycle or a lifespan of about 1 year. And so one of the things that aquariums throughout the US and other parts of the world, including here at SeaWorld San Diego, we are able to propagate or grow jellies ourselves. And so it's a really important part of knowing and understanding their life cycle and being able to replenish these awesome animals.
And they lay eggs. What are people going to see?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Jellies are able to reproduce both what we in the science realm call asexually as well as sexually. So that means that sometimes different species of jellies are actually able to clone themselves and do what we call bud. And they are able to essentially produce replicas of each other. Other times, they are able to reproduce sexually, which means that they release gametes, which are spores out, and they mate and produce jellies that way. So they're kind of cool because they can do either or.
So are these, I mean, they obviously look very unique in terms of creatures in the sea. I mean, and there's a lot of fear.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear of jellies because they are a part of, like I said, a phylum called cnidarians. And cnidarians are animals that typically have what are called nematocysts or stinging cells. And so jellies are able to sting. Now, along the coast of San Diego and the Pacific coast of the United States, the amount of venom that our local jellies are able to produce is very, very minor. However, over in different parts of the world, such as Australia, you will find jellies such as the irukandji and also the box jellies that have stinging cells and venom that is very, very dangerous and can actually be fatal. So if you're over here in San Diego and you're coming to SeaWorld and you happen to go into the ocean, you're going to be really, really safe. If you go over into Western Australia and parts of that, the western part of Australia, you may have to be a little bit more careful.
Very interesting. So again, it is the Jewels of the Sea, a jellyfish experience at SeaWorld in San Diego. Really fascinating, Mike. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Can't wait to see everybody.